Most beginners look at the human body and immediately try to draw the outline, the curve of an arm, the folds of clothing, or the details of a face. But realistic figure drawing doesn't start with the skin. It starts with what's hidden underneath. If we strip away the surface, we find a surprisingly simple framework. Every figure is built from basic geometric solids, cylinders for the limbs, spheres for the joints, all anchored by a single sweeping curve. To keep these shapes from looking distorted, artists use a standard unit of measurement, the human head. An average adult stands about 7.5 to 8 heads tall. This vertical ruler also dictates horizontal alignments. The shoulders typically span 2 to 3 heads wide, and if you draw a straight horizontal line across the waist, you'll find exactly where the elbows naturally rest. Getting these mathematical relationships right on a static figure is the mandatory first step. You have to understand how the parts connect before you can make the body move. Of course, people rarely stand straight with arms at their sides. Capturing everyday motion, like bending to work the soil, requires a specific 4-stage method. Stage 1 is the gesture. This is a rapid 30-second sketch where you completely ignore details. You are only looking for one thing, the exact flow of the pose. This unbroken sweep from the top of the head down to the grounded back foot is the line of action. If you miss this curve, the final drawing will look stiff, or like the person is about to fall over. Once the energy is set, we move to the mannequin stage. Instead of drawing flat lines, we build the torso as a 3D trapezoid and the limbs as solid cylinders, linking them together with spheres. To make sure these shapes connect properly, we mark the skeletal landmarks. The collarbone, the bottom of the ribcage, and the pelvis act as bony anchor points that dictate exactly how the body can bend. When beginners skip straight to drawing a face without building this geometric skeleton first, the result is almost always a flat, unbalanced sketch. This structural approach solves one of the hardest problems in drawing, foreshortening. That's the visual distortion that happens when a body part points directly toward you. Because of perspective, an arm reaching forward appears much shorter than it actually is. If you try to draw it at its true biological length, the illusion of depth breaks entirely. To prove the depth, artists use the overlap trick. By drawing the shoulder shape overlapping the bicep and the bicep overlapping the forearm, you create a front-to-back stacking effect that forces the eye to see 3 dimensions. Let's test this out. Look at this athlete mid-kick. Pause the video and try to mentally map out his line of action and the key bone landmarks. The gesture line sweeps cleanly down the spine and through the planted leg to support his weight, while the collarbone and pelvis landmarks show exactly how his torso is twisting. Locking down a strong line of action and using overlapping shapes for the limbs is exactly how you turn a flat piece of paper into a space with actual depth. Now we reach stage 4, the silhouette. The geometry fades as we trace the natural curves of muscles and clothes. For true volume, we use cross-contour shading. Imagine tight elastic bands wrapping around the limbs. Shading along these curves makes the figure solid. So whenever you face a blank canvas, remember the order. Capture the gesture, build the mannequin shapes, plot the bony landmarks, and only then refine the silhouette. Detail is always your final step. Drawing the human figure is not an innate magical talent. It is simply the disciplined application of basic shapes and reliable proportions. The quickest way to improve is repetition. Grab a pencil, start doing 30-second gesture sketches of the people around you, and visit yaka.cc for more practice materials and complete lessons.